This episode of Blue Canoe is sponsored by Harry Kitchen. When your canoe is feeling blue, grab a box of rendang, katsu or tofu.
It's like we're making a fake taxi.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? My name's Aaron Lodge, most people know me as Bodge, and today I'm with Nick Preston. Nick Preston, tell the people where we're off to.
Bolton away. We're in a taxi and we're just lodged in a load of traffic at the moment.
We were going to get the train and we've decided to get a taxi, and it wasn't that expensive, but now we've hit a massive accident and we might not even make it there on time. And now we will make it on time.
We're on the march tonight. We're Bolton, we're bombing. We're on the base tonight. We're Bolton, we're bombing. We're on the march tonight. We're Bolton, we're bombing. We're on the base tonight. Oh, enough. We're Bolton, we're bombing.
Merry Christmas, first and foremost, mate.
Merry Christmas, man.
Nice to be back in Derby and fucking back home and doing things around Christmas that...
Yeah, man. It's how it is. It's just what it's about, innit? Go back home, spending Christmas Eve in the Bless.
Yeah.
You know, in the score.
Yeah. Managed to come across you as I was coming back into town.
Yeah.
10 or 15 of you.
Everyone held you up
I
like
got
Simba.
held up like Simba.
Yeah, literally, mate. But Bodge has a thing when he has a drink and he's a bit like... You know what I mean? He gets the eyes and it's like, he's looking at me, but he ain't looking at me. You know what I mean? Like, it's funny as fuck. I think it's proper funny. Cheeky little prick.
It's been quite a busy year for you with acting.
Yeah.
The third series of Ladhood was released this year. Did you film it this year as well?
Yeah, we did. We shot that at the start of this year in Hemel Hempstead. What's just happened there, Tinhead?
Ralph just started to buying booze, Rupert.
What, Ralph, who got battered a couple of weeks back for being a mouthy little prick and not knowing his place? He's asking me, Whitey's mate, to buy him booze. Well, no, it was nice, you know what I mean? It's the hat-trick in it, so it was nice to sort of round off sort of 4 years of work. Yeah, man, I don't know, quite emotional as well, to be honest. You know, because it was a job that I've made a lot of connections on. Mm-hmm. It like, you know, friendship-wise, professionally, whatever it was, you know what I mean? It was just, I enjoyed the job. Every time it was coming around, we looked forward to it, you know, with the pilot. And we did the first, the second and the third. It was, yeah, man, so it's been it was emotional.
It's quite a unique TV series in the fact it's like set in Yorkshire.
Yeah.
And with us being from Derby, like in between Leeds and London, and culturally, I seem to relate quite a lot to it because like, I've got a sister that lives up there from uni and everything else. And it must have been quite sentimental for you doing like a project like that where like you're having to tap into the accent and the humour of that part of the world.
100%, man. And it's that era, it's that time in life where we'd have been what? We'd have been 5 or 6 in those early 2000s, yeah. But then it was like, you know, we've seen those kids in the TN tracksuits, we've seen it was those folks that, I can pinpoint you as someone that I know. Do you know what I mean? But it's still classed as a period drama, really. It's 20 years ago now. Do you know what I mean? And I felt like it felt like a staple, or it paid homage to that era and what it was. So it was nice to be part of that and constantly sort of
no internet.
Tap into that. Yeah, that was it. It was always the start of it, wasn't it? You know what I mean? Like the episode in the first series where, you know, it's like garage band sort of vibes, isn't it? You know what I mean? It's like, so yeah, it was nice to be part of that side of things, man. It was, I was a bully kid for 3 series, really. Have a look at that shiner. Oh, it's a beauty, that lad. Look at that, Tinhead.
It's a proper nice and
yeah, gorgeous, innit? All yellows and blues and that. Why does it do that, Tinhead?
It's due to the breakdown of haemoglobin.
Just no shit like that, Tinhead, you know, it's mad. Right, now then, boys.
What did you reckon to it? What did you reckon? Yeah.
It's been really well received. Like that, especially that third series. Like, obviously, it's got that far, but like this third series particularly, I've seen it. Been mentioned all over the place. You know what I mean?
Man.
Like it's
real though, isn't it? Like, I think that's why it stands the test of time. Is like, like a lot of the themes of it. It's so funny, and people love reminiscing about their teenage years, but there's like this harsh reality that this is how people have grown up for weekend after weekend after weekend for like 20 years, and then he's struggling mentally with
well, that's it. And I think it's good that it sheds light on that as well, you know, because and you're obviously seeing it through the lens of Liam, who's grown up in that, and sort of how those earlier experiences affected him, and how that's gone into sort of like.
And he wrote it as well, didn't he?
You know, he wrote it, and you know, we're all in that situation, you know, in our late 20s now and mid 20s, where it's like, you know, you say, okay, so what I've learned now, you sort of, whatever tools you collected on the way, mate, you started to go, this is making me who I am, and this is piecing me into the adult I am. Do you know what I mean? So and a lot of stuff comes from those early primitive experiences. Do you know what I mean? So it was good crack, good lads, good laugh, like you say, good banter up there. Do you know what I mean? Like, everyone's patter up north, mate. It's it's bang on.
The lad that you spend a lot of the time doing scenes with is a Bradford boy.
Tinhead, How do you feel about that, Tinhead?
I don't know. How do you feel about it, Rupert?
I think it's funny. I feel like guy out of Oliver Twist. All the orphans. Fagin. I feel like Fagin, to be honest, Tinhead.
Bradford lad, isn't he?
He's from Grimsby, actually. Is he actually? Yeah, he's actually from Grimsby. Yeah. But he spent a lot of time in Yorkshire and stuff, you know what I mean? And it's also sort of similar.
So dry as well, isn't he?
Yeah. So do you want to know something? He's nothing like that.
Is he not?
He's one of the nicest geezers you'll meet. He's so like, he's just a straight down to earth geezer, man. And he brought something to Tinhead that I don't think anyone else could have. Even like in the first series, I don't know if you see it when he walks off and he like starts singing opera, and it's like it just shows a range of like musical theatre there.
They bring it back in the third series, don't they? When they've got like a choir and he's at the back just giving it big When was the first time, Nick? Because we know each other through the television workshop, so where you were trained before you got an agent and started getting parts in like My Mad Fat Diary and Our Girl that was on BBC One. You went over to South Africa filming that. When was the first point where you thought, I really like doing acting, and like that's what I'd like
for me, I don't know, it dates a lot further back than workshop. I'd say it was like, I mean, when I was year 6, I played Quasimodo in a school play. Mate. They strapped like a football to my back. I put that through my arms in and like the bells and shit like that. I loved it, mate. And then I had a good. Always been performative, you know, growing up in pubs and that as a kid as well. Like Fridays, Saturdays in pubs, you know, with my folks and that. I'd be standing on tables and singing Elvis and that. You know what I mean? People chucking you the odd £1, £2 here and there. I feel like that's where I really sort of crafted that performative bone.
Lived in Allington for a lot of your time growing up. Is that kind of where you grew up for most of?
Allington, Shelton Lock, Chelliston, like I never grew up in Chelliston, went to cello school. But then it was sort of like just knocked around all that. Do you know what I mean? It's like that's it. The Crown, the Arrows and the Mitre and that, and mate. So it was all the sort of
some absolutely mad pubs up that way.
Crazy pubs there, mate. Crazy pubs, and I think that's the I don't know. It's a weird dying culture, isn't it? Pubs nowadays, it is but I feel like they've stayed very like true to that what it was from the get-go, haven't they? Do you know what I mean? But
Quasimodo.
Quasimodo, mate. I got up halfway through and started dancing with my mum and that. Sir Dan, she was well embarrassed. That's definitely where I sort of started to love performing. Yeah.
And then television workshop.
Yeah.
Started getting decent TV roles. I remember it didn't take you very long for being part of that setup to really.
Yeah.
I think
it kicked off quite quickly, didn't
the
it?
first
about
play that we did was it Hamlet?
No,
was you in Hamlet?
No. We did Vera.
We did Vera, and then
because we were double cast same part.
We were double cast as the same part in that, but there was another play that we did where like you were hardly about for any of the rehearsal process.
So I was filming after,
because you were filming. Yeah. Was that for Argo?
That was Argo. Yeah. Oh, Michelle's lovely, man. Like she's
such good pals, aren't you?
Yeah, man. Yeah. She's so respectful. I think because she's a very family oriented person. And yeah, I've got nothing but time for Michelle. She always wishes me happy birthday. She always asks how my mum is, and I can only respect that. Do you know what I mean? I've got pals who don't ask how my mum's getting on. Do you know what I mean? So, like, it's that she's very respectful, and yeah, she's wicked, man. I've got a lot of time for Michelle. Yeah, man. But yeah, So I was doing that. We were doing the play, weren't we? And what it was? It was Rose of Vime.
It was.
That's what it was. It was Rose of Vime.
Nick had one of the main parts in it. I ended up playing like the village Quasimodo.
Yeah, literally was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
What was his name again?
Bedlam. Was actually the character's name.
Bedlam, yeah.
And he was like the oracle of the story. So obviously the Rose of Vime is all about the plague. Everyone's dying around him, and this lad who like can't walk properly is absolutely autistic as they come. And he survives. He's one of them that like survives, and like but he predicts it all that is going to happen throughout the story.
Yeah,
it's absolutely mad. But we did that in St Mary's Church in Notts, and it was a massive production. But because you were away filming, and this is what used to happen at TV Workshop as well, is it's a business there to help you get an agent and that kind of stuff. And you're just chilling with people that are in TV dramas on BBC, but then you just pals like on a real one. Like
that's it. Me and you used to travel up on the Red Arrow, didn't we?
Yeah, straight up on a Wednesday night. Yeah, so Sam Moore, one of our mates, I've not seen him in 10 years. He's going to Bolton today.
Yeah,
so we might end up seeing him at half time.
I hope we do.
Me, you and Sam Moore, like the three of us used to religiously get the bus.
There's got to be a photo in there, mate. I'm telling you.
How often did you have to go to the workshop?
Just what? Jack went to the workshop. Mike, Lauren Soccer went as well. And Vicky McClure was another one that went as well.
Well, Burrows, obviously.
But James Burrows as well, yeah.
Yeah, bag of people. I think
Andrew
it's one of those ones where I think if you're an actor from Derby or Nottingham and you go workshop, say no, you go, all right, well, are you? No, it's not like that. You know what I mean? It's in like
no,
you're like
an arrogance thing. It's just
no. You don't expect someone not to have gone there. If you know what I mean, because it is that place of like, you know what I mean?
It's like
you get asked to do it. So what's what you doing? Activity or whatever.
Jack was the one that recommended that because I didn't know what I wanted to do when I left school, and he goes, "Oh, you might as well just apply for the workshop." And then I started doing performing arts at Burton College, and got into the workshop the same year I started college. So I was doing them alongside each other. But you were 2 years. I was in my third year of being at workshop when this fucking rascal rocks up, mate. And it used to be on Stony Street, so it was on like a hill, and I'll never forget it. Like everyone's like queuing up outside, everyone's having a bit of a social, you know what I mean, before like it all kicks off for the evening session. And this guy was the biggest loudmouth for saying he'd never been down to the workshop before.
On job.
He literally rocks
on
up
job,
and
mate.
just
Like,
let every single person know that he was there. And I think because we've been mates for years and years, or we've had so many laughs over the years as well.
Yeah.
You've like to see you mature and like not calm down.
Yeah, calm down though. Yeah, mate. Because I was 100 miles an hour.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know when to shut my mouth.
Yeah.
But I think that just happens as a kid, don't you? It's like I say, I've grown up in fast-paced environments where people are that way, and you know what I mean. When you talk about the crowd and it's like, mate, folk in there, it's just. What I'm saying, you've got to have the chat, mate.
That was like the foundations for you, and you're like one of a select few that have really started to carve a career in the acting world.
Yeah.
Whether that be on BBC or like you've just finished doing a BFI film.
Yeah.
Like you've done a couple of short films, and
man,
you've achieved quite a lot up to this point at 27.
Yeah.
Like, where do you see yourself, and like what are you looking to do in 2023, man? Like,
I don't know. I mean, it's a weird business, isn't it? Like you say, I've been a really good few years. I've been lucky enough to be able to live off this for the last sort of like 4 years, 4 years, and that's a blessing. And you know, long may it continue. Hopefully, I don't know, mate. I just work hard with the tapes that I get and stuff, and hope it goes that way. I mean, this year, like I was shooting at Grime Kids. That was a lot of fun. So that was like written by DJ Target. And yeah, being part of that as well, that's another thing where it's sort of like that's a staple to that sort of genre of music and that time. That moment in time, the bookmarking that time, that pays homage to the grime scene, you know. And that's something, another thing that sort of when we were growing up, that was like, you'd hear it, do you know what I mean? There was no way of not. That's whether you're into grime or not, so that's...
It's crazy now that we're a little bit older, that grime is like a genre of music that has its own staple in time.
Yeah.
Like it isn't just a running concurrent thing anymore, like grime happened, unless it makes a comeback, which but we was talking to KG about it. KG said grime will never die, and I agree with that. But
I think it's got similarities to punk, hasn't it? It's independent, it's ours. It's like no one can take this off us, and it was originally called grime because middle classes like called it that to try and deter people from wanting to listen to it. It's like grime, it sounds dear, but now grime's like, yeah. Do you know what I mean? It's like the faces, yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like it is that thing. It's like this music's ours.
Fully grew up on that genre of music from like 12, 13 years old when you had your Sony Ericsson Walkman, and everybody would be listening to them tunes. And I think it goes even. It's about like Tom, you're 34, I'm 29, Nick's 27. Yeah. Yeah. And like you saw the really early grime stuff, because I know like a lot of your mates like Ratty and that, like they were mad into grime. But like I remember you saying to me on the phone a couple of weeks ago, you're like, Bodge, I think this is gonna do bits.
I think so because the you know, DJ Target's revered massively in that scene and in that industry. And also a very cool, honest guy.
Because you wrote the book about it as well.
So you wrote the book first, and then I believe someone read that and was like, I'm getting this made with the BBC, and then you know they've worked on making it. And don't get me wrong, it's tough because my character he's a bad breed, mate, but there's no swearing in it. So the way it's been written by Teresa, there's no swearing. So it's like you have to, as an actor, find a way then to work with intention in what you're saying rather than like just using a swear. Because it's actually quite lazy when you think about it, you know, just to go, I can swear to let someone know that I'm...
Plenty of times like people have done like, you have like improvisation circles and the first thing you see somebody do is run in and swear their head off.
That's it,
and think that's going to get them through. But
and it's easy to do, it's easy to fall back on, isn't it? You know, it's I guess it's sort of like insecurity that like, I don't know what to say, so the swearing just you fall back on it, you know. But so it's been good sort of working with that, and you know, having to make sure the language isn't not swearing and stuff. There's been a couple of times where I've dropped it and I've gone sorry. My bad, man. I know we can't use that one.
Yeah. What's it like working on them kind of sets? Because you know, with these mad professional setups, I'm assuming, and
mate, like I say, it's a blessing to ever be involved in it and ever see it. Like
does it take a while to get used to though, like the actual like?
Yeah, I don't want to be saying that, mate. I'm a lad from Manington now. I'm a lad. Do you know what I mean? I'm a lad that's like I feel blessed to ever like to still be working it and doing it, and I think I forever will, man. It's a job that a lot of people set out to do and don't get to do, and it's a job that people don't see. Do you know what I mean? So it's like it's nice to say, I've had a little go on it, you know. Yeah. So it's I don't think I'll ever get fully used to it, and I don't think I should either. Like I'm always brought up to be a good man and being, do you know what I mean, respectful to everyone I work with. So like when I'm there, mate, I'm thankful and grateful to be involved. Do you know what I mean?
But I feel like you're there for a reason as well. You're there to do the job.
Like I said, I've always felt like I've worked hard and stuff. When I get auditions, mate, I put my time in. I do put my graft in. I put my prep in. I do like, and if I don't get it, I don't get it. Yeah. If I do, then I like to say it's down to the way that I've actually really like put time.
You were saying that Grime Kids, you'd actually forgot about the audition.
Yeah, well, it's like 3 months later, mate. Yeah. It rarely works that way. It's like you sort of know when I had sort of like a couple of recalls and then chemistry read, and then I was, you know, you didn't find out in a couple of weeks. I was like, all right, cool, that's not happening then, you know. And then 3 months later, we were like, yeah. Because the things I had an audition just before that, a week before, and I was like, they're shouting me about that one. Do you know what I mean? And then it weren't. I was like, I was like 3 months ago we went up for that. Yeah. But yeah, man, that's the way things go sometimes. It's sort of like. And the thing is, I got the job, and then within the space of 4 days, I was filming. Do you know what I mean? Got the scripts on the Saturday. By the Tuesday, I was filming. Mental. Man.
Having chats with DJ Target and Gets and
man,
people like that. It's all right for a week's fucking turnaround.
Yeah, that's it, man. been a good few months, man. It's been, it's been a lovely job to be involved with, and Abdou Cisse, the director, he's a cool guy, man. It's nice to work with directors that, and Ian as well. Ian did the second block. Directors that understand actors, and it's more of a personable relationship than just actually having.
Let's get you in for a job.
Sure someone going, I want the that's it. You get some directors who are very sort of like, I know, camera driven and the way it looks visually, and then you get folk who can just chat to people and also get something out of you. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, with TV and film, it's like get in, swim, and get out. You know what I mean? That's it. You can't. It's not like a play process where you've got like a whole chronological order. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's. Do you know what I mean? You don't get that time.
You have a script read through.
Yeah, that's it. You do read
go
through.
Out for drinks with the cast.
That's it, man. It's like you literally turn up, do your thing.
It's quite cutthroat in that sense, isn't it?
Yeah, man. Definitely. Blue Canoe. So summertime.
2020.
Yeah,
it was during lockdown.
Yeah. It was.
It was. It's about 30 degrees.
It's absolutely boiling hot.
And because you can't be around loads of people because of COVID, and it's like looking for something to do. And
we went on a walk. Didn't we?
Spoke to Nick, and he was living up in Belper at the time, which is really like it's a lovely picturesque part of Derbyshire.
Beautiful place.
And I've got the bus over, and we've gone for a walk. We've took your King Charles Spaniel out, and he's just we're at the top of this hill lobbing this stick for about an hour, and he just kept zooming down, zooming back up.
Yeah.
I was like, what should we do? And he was like, oh, my dad's got this canoe if you want to take it out on Belper River.
Yeah.
So we've like
a blow up canoe, bearing in mind.
Blow up canoe. So we had the pump for it. It took us about an hour and a half to pump it up.
It was
there was two like healthcare assistants that had finished work and had gone down to the river, and they were just having a cigarette after work and that kind of stuff, and you could just tell they were looking at us as if to say, what a pair of fucking sausages.
Divvies. Can't even blow a canoe up between them.
But yeah, I was looking to obviously set up a media company around that time, and if it wasn't for the Nick Preston's dad's blue canoe, then like this is where we're at now, isn't it?
That's it.
That's the story.
Sat in
that's
the blue
the originator, the OG.
Mate, sat floating down the river having a right merry old time.
we cried laughing that afternoon.
Yeah, it was class.
Nick decided that he was going to pretend to play a harmonica while he was sat in this canoe, and he was just going. I can't even do it because I've got a bit of a sore throat. Nick. You're gonna have to whack an impression out for old time's sake.
I got him in my blue canoe.
I'm sitting inside my newest canoe. It just went on for about an hour. We just kept rhyming with canoe with loads of different words.
Yeah.
My bluest, my truest, my newest canoe. And we weren't even going anywhere. We were kind of spinning around in this canoe as well.
Literally.
There was no direction to it.
What we do is we paddle all the way up and just like float down a bit and go right, paddle back up again, and just float down again.
That's the story of the
story of blue canoe, mate. Yeah, class, man.
We're gonna have to do it again at some point.
No, definitely, mate.
Has he still got the canoe floating about?
He'll have it somewhere. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, he's one of them kind of blokes, isn't he? Like, he's not one to chuck stuff away for the sake of it.
Nah, not him.
Derby County. That's why we're here.
Yeah, that's it.
How do you think we'll get on today? First and foremost,
it'd be a nice way to finish the year, wouldn't it? Obviously, we've got the game on the 30th, and also like it's a nice way to finish with a couple of wins, mate. If we can finish in the playoff zone going into the new year, it's a good place to stand. And do you want to know something? Forest in their first season in League One, mate, they were sat about 10th, just after thingy. So could never be us.
I think it's a case of us just these kind of games. If we can go and really like impose ourselves and go, look, this is what we're about. And I think Paul Warner's instilled that.
Yeah, definitely.
I think Derby have looked the most solid that they've looked all season right now. So if we are going to do it, today should be a decent day for it. But they're a smart setup, and they're a team that, like we were talking about Bolton from 10 years ago, like growing up, and
JJ Kocher and Campo and that.
Stelios Yanakopoulos, Kevin Davies, Jussi Jääskeläinen, you know,
Nolan, he's there as well,
Kevin Nolan, Gary Cahill. They're a club that's kind of similar to us in some ways, you know. Yeah,
because their fans. Them fans have seen a glory here, haven't they? And it's like it must be tough for them as well because they've gone down, you know. And that's it. And I think Paul was saying it. It was like the thing is, then Derby County are turning up, people want to beat us, so they will get players behind the ball. It's like, naturally we're going to get the best of teams because they know they want to be the best again. You know what I mean? But I mean, we've not been here in our lifetime, mate. So like, to be in this position, it's like people out there want to beat Derby County, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that's also bringing the best out of our players as well, do you know what I mean?
Some good youngsters coming through, like,
mate,
have matured because
our academies, for me, it's just it's just, mate, unbeaten, mate. Seriously, it's just absolutely class. Like Jason Knight's probably one of my favourite players. Like, it's honestly,
nice
mate,
it's like having a fresh signing in him back from injury.
Yeah, literally.
Hopefully he starts to.
Even at the start of the season when he had to play right back and that, it was like, oh, it's like that just shows he's just got the stones to say, nah, mate, if I've got to play right back, I'll play it. Yeah. But really, we could have done with him in the middle. Do you know what I mean? It's like, you know what I mean, with Bird and that and
Cash in.
Yeah, man, Cash in's classing. Yeah, he is old school, mate. Yeah, that's it. That's it, man.
Yeah, straight up.
Yeah, some good players, man. Some good players, and it's
on our way to Manchester and then trying to get over to Bolton from there.
Yeah.
Whether that be taxi or train or whatever.
Yeah. We'll find a way, I'm sure.
Yeah. It's gonna be some fun this afternoon, mate.
Yeah.
And then on the way back, we get to come across some Nottingham Forest fans that have already got up to Manchester because they're playing United today as well. So I think if a couple of things swing your way in terms of if there's what's it called again? Grime kids. If that takes off a bit, and then a couple of the other bits that you're doing.
Yeah, man.
Like, you've still got so much time, man, before you're even 30. You know.
Yeah, that's it. Got a few years.
It's just tunnel vision with that kind of stuff.
That's exactly it.
It's just about getting them roles like James Burrows has just done with 3 Day Millionaire. To be fair.
Yeah, and he's been doing his thing with Apple Mustard as well. Yeah. Like, it's like, do you know what I mean? I think, like I say, I'm just blessed to be in this industry and be able to have the opportunity to even give myself a chance in that. Do you know what I mean? It's nice to even be involved in that and be in the mix. So I'm forever grateful, mate, and just constantly just trying to better something here and there, you know, see what happens, man.
Sick. Up the Rams.
Up the Rams.
Go on, the boys.